Hello everyone, I invite you to every Monday's cryptocurrency review. Let's start by checking the current situation on the BTC pair to USDT, taking into account the 4-hour interval. First, we will use the yellow line to mark the local line of the falling trend under which the price is currently moving. Now we can move on to marking the support areas in case of a deeper correction. And here, in the first place, it is worth marking the support at the price of $21,412. Then we have a support zone from $21,007 to $20,666. But when we fall below this zone, we can see a drop to around $20,339. Then to the price of $19,868 and even $19,265. As we can see, EMA cross 10 and 30 indicate continuation of the downtrend. Looking the other way, in a similar way, using the trend-based fib extension tool, we can determine the places of resistance. First, we have resistance at $22,300. Once we break it, we have resistance at $22,891. Then there is a zone of strong resistance from $23,341 to $23,797. And then price can move towards $24,432 resistance. Please pay attention to the CHOP index, which indicates that there is still a lot of energy left for the move. The MACD indicator indicates the maintenance of the local uptrend, while the RSI is moving in the lower part of the range. As the second chart in today's review, we will check ETH against USDT, this time on a single-day timeframe. First of all, using the blue line, we can mark the downtrend, from which the price went up, while currently ETH is on the border of the uptrend line. As we can see, EMA cross 10 and 30 are close to entering a downtrend when the red line crosses the green line from above. Now let's move on to marking the places of support. We will use the fib retracement tool to mark the supports. And as you can see, we have the first support at $1,472, the second support at $1,396. Then we can mark the strong support zone from $1,319 to $1,211. Looking the other way, we can also mark the places where the price should encounter resistance on the way to increases. And here we first have a strong resistance zone from $1,553 to $1,663. The next resistance is at $1,825, and then the third resistance at $2,029. The CHOP index indicates that there is still energy left for the next move. The MACD indicator is in a downtrend. However, on the RSI we see a rebound and that we are moving in a downtrend. As the third, we will check the BNB chart on a 4-hour interval. Let's start by marking with the yellow lines the uptrend channel from which the price went down. Let's start by marking the support places for the price, and we see that the first support is at $279, but if the price goes lower, we have another support at $266, then at $246 and another support at $220. Looking the other way, we can similarly determine the places of resistance that the price has to face. And here we see that the first resistance is at $290. Then we have a strong resistance zone from $308 to $331, and then the price will move towards $361. The CHOP index indicates that the collected energy is used for the current correction. The MACD indicates entering a downtrend, while the RSI has a further rebound and is approaching the lower end of the range. The last one in today's chart is the DOT chart against USDT on a 4-hour interval. First of all, we will use the blue lines to mark the uptrend channel from which the price has gone down, while the yellow lines will mark the downtrend channel in which we are currently moving. Going further, we can move on to marking support areas in a situation where the correction is deepened. And here the first support is at $5.91, but when we go lower, the next support is at $5.56. Looking the other way, we see that we first have an important resistance zone from $6.21 to $6.38. Only when we break through it will the next resistance be at $6.52, and then $6.66. Please look at the CHOP index, which indicates that the energy collected is being used to correct the price. The MACD indicates that we have entered a downtrend, while the RSI has touched the lower end of the range. Technical analysis is provided by a third party and for informational purposes only. It does not reflect the views of CryptoDaily, nor is it intended to be used as legal, tax, investment, or financial advice.